Alright guys, BLM here, back with more Yakuza 0. It is currently storming outside, so that's lovely, but we're going to continue on. It's actually been about half an hour since it's the last recorded, but it's 1:10. So I'll probably record for another hour or so. Yeah. I did want to go through my Fallen Angel ranking, or at least do a preliminary. Just things, talking through things for that. Cause that is the, I mean, after I'm done with the BD20, like doing what I can for BD22, that's the first video I'm working on. So I might as well talk through it right now. So yeah, so yeah, Fallen Angel is the person that went out right before the final tribal council. So I guess we're gonna start off with okay. I was trying to fix some things here. So looks like the last episode of this Let's Play just uploaded, so just gonna make sure it's alright. Alright, looks like it's fine. Alright, so let's continue on. Alright, so yeah, first up is Rudy. I mean, I think Rudy is... He's either going to be bottom or middle tier. Wait, where am I going? I'm not paying attention. I think the thing about Rudy is how, like, was he going to win if he got to the end? I think that's a major thing. Like, was he liked enough by the jury to win? Because, like, and you hear a lot of people say, like, oh, Rudy was going to win if he got to the end. And if he does so, it's purely just based on the fact that he's more liked than the other two. But we don't really hear that much about that, though. Like actual, like concrete proof that he wins. It's more so just like people saying, "Oh, he definitely wins if he gets to the end." And it's like the perceptions of the players out there that are in the game. But then that's not always accurate. I don't know. Like right off the bat, though, I think we can say Rudy is. I would say Rudy is. I mean, he's obviously #1 so far. We got Keith. I think Keith is a tough one to assess because I don't think there's any person in the game that Keith beats. I think Keith has a very tough. Wait, where am I going? Like, I legitimately, like, can't see a single person that he beats in the game. Where am I going right now? Oh, am I going to the apartment? Yeah, I feel like Rudy and Keith are like similar, have similar games. I would actually say that Keith probably was more in the know the entirety of the game, or for more of the game than Rudy was. I think they're both people that were in danger earlier on in the game. I think they're both people that were able to survive due to a really strong allegiance. Where like Rudy had people like, well, actually, really, in a way, I think you kind of have to give Keith more credit for him actually surviving in the pre-merge, because Keith like actively survived through his relationship with Tina, where then Tina was able to convince Colby to turn against his alliance, to and essentially they make it to the final three, and Keith and Tina are really moving as a duo throughout a lot of that game. But I think you have to also discredit Keith by the fact that that Keith was like, despite him being this massive goat that doesn't win against anybody at the end, there's still not a single person that that was going to take him to the end either. I think that's another thing you have to discredit him. Yeah, I think between Rudy and Keith, it's very, very... Okay, that was really fucking bright. There was like lightning there. I think it's very, very close. I think Keith, his actual game, I think is probably, in my opinion, slightly more impressive than Rudy's. But I feel like it's, oh my fucking god. I feel like it's so close between the two that I feel like Rudy being a much easier, like has a much easier road to a win, and Keith puts him above him, but I feel like they're very, very close. Then we got Lex. I mean, Lex is clearly number one so far. I mean, it's not even a question. Probably the first truly, no, I think Tina played a pretty dominant game. But, I mean, Lex played an extremely dominant game. Obviously, he has his issues. I think his dream management was pretty poor, but despite that, he probably still wins if he gets to the end. I think his, the way he treated people was pretty demeaning, to certain people within the group. I mean, like, namely Kelly Goldsmith. And even then, even like Tom, like the way he treated Tom. But I think Tom, well, actually no, Tom probably votes for Ethan in that funnel too. I mean, like, Lex wins, right? I'm pretty sure Lex wins. Kelly Goldsmith goes Ethan, Brandon goes Lex, Frank goes Lex, yeah, Kim Powers, and then T-Bird. Yeah, it's 4-3 though. Yeah, Lex wins. Yeah, either way, Lex is number one so far. Kathy, I think Kathy, Kathy's tough actually. I would put her right below Lex, I feel like. She wasn't a dominant player, but she was someone that was, like, actively in the middle of the game. Like, she was a very active player and someone that was making decisions, but not making decisions as in the person in control. Like, she was more so, had the choice between two sides, and, yeah, I mean, like... Yeah, honestly, I think Kathy had a lot more agency in the game than Rudy and Keith. That's why she's above them, but, and if she gets to the end, she does win. But I would put her below Lex, because I don't feel like she had as much outright control. Next we got Jan. I mean, I think I can pretty safely put Jan at the bottom. I mean, Jan is kind of in a similar spot to Keith and Rudy, where she was technically part of the majority that did run the table. I think the problem with Jan is she never, unlike Rudy and Keith, who I feel like she never had any real agency in the game. I feel like at least Rudy, there are points where, like, you say, Rudy, like, was in the conversations of who should go home. Like, he was one of the ones that brought up Gretchen. And, like, he did make that final two with Rich and... And like Keith, as I said, like, made that relationship with Tina that carried him away. Jan was just dragged. I mean, Jan was there. I wouldn't be surprised if Jan's like at the bottom. Like, I forgot. I don't remember. Then we got Rob Cicino. For me, it's Rob or Kathy. I think those two are pretty close. I think Rob has a tougher road to a win Not really, because I mean, like, if he wins Palomino, he votes on Jenna, he wins against Matthew. I mean, but it's like, I feel like there are less scenarios where Rob wins than Kathy. I think Kathy wins in every scenario she gets to the end in. While, like, I feel like Rob only wins in him against Matthew, maybe him against Butch. I think he loses to Jenna. I think he loses to Heidi. Like, I think there are less scenarios where he wins. Mind you, I do think he had more outward control of the game in that back portion than Kathy did. It's tough because I feel like they're both very, very similar games. I'm thinking about giving the edge to Kathy. Because that was another thing I don't love Rob's move to get rid of the swing vote. I thought this in the past. In the situation that Rob was in, I do think it was a mistake to get rid of Christy. Because what the fuck else was Christy doing? And like, Christy couldn't win shit, so it's like, why are you getting rid of Christy or any of these other people who are more able to win competitions? Or who's next? Johnny Fairplay. I mean, he's in that same tier. I think it's Johnny Fairplay's in that tier of Kathy and Rob. I think Fairplay probably had more control than Rob. And probably Kathy, to be honest. The thing is, I think he loses control. Well, but then so do they. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, just offhand, like, right away, like, my thought is, I think he's above both Kathy and Rob, just, you know. So, and then we got All-Stars, we got Jenna. I think Jenna is in the lower tier there with Rudy, Keith, Jan. I mean, she's definitely above Jan. I mean, that's something I can say right away. Because, like, this is tough, actually. I mean, she was in the Majority Alliance. She was a contributor to the Majority Alliance. But I don't feel like she was super active there, and I feel like she actively did stuff to lose herself jury votes. Like, I think she actively loses her jury vote to her, loses Sheehan's jury vote, which would have given her a loss probably if she was against Boston Rob at the end. I don't feel as confident about her winning a jury vote as some other people seem to think that she does. And like, yeah, I mean, she just was there, really, for a lot of the game. I mean, like, she did have control over her initial tribe. So, I mean, at least there's that, but it's like, I do find it tough to really, it's like Rudy and Keith. It's like, is she above or below Rudy and Keith? I think that's really the question. I think she probably is still above. Yeah, because like, even her vote, her move to get rid of Rupert's, it's like, considering production wouldn't tell them the rules, that's not the worst move in the world, as she doesn't win against Rupert anyway. Like, obviously it decreases her chance of getting to the end, but if she gets to the end, she wins. While by getting Rupert to the final three, she has more of a chance of getting to the end, but she has less of a chance of winning. So it's like, I do think that was a tough conundrum anyway. I think I'm gonna put her above Rudy and Keith. Again, it might change. Again, I'll have to look at my old ranking and see how I assess them then, but it would be interesting to see. I do think I'll put Jenna above for now. Scout. Scout's in that Johnny, Kathy, Rob group. You know, for me so far, and Lex is very clearly number one out of all these. Yeah, so Scout. I think the problem with Scout is that she had no end game. It's like I think Scout played okay pre-merge. I mean, she definitely isolated certain people. She isolated like the Elizas of the world, which isn't great. But she also had a partner in crime that did it even worse in Twyla. It's tough. Because like she is the orchestrator of the Leanne boot, which is fantastic, and that allows her to run the table from that point on. But she runs the table in a way that gets her lost. Like she runs the table in a way that she gets to a final three with two people that aren't going to take her to the end, and against a person that, and like Chris in particular being someone that she loses against at the end anyway. She does win against Twyla, but it's like Twyla wasn't taking her, so she would have had the one immunity, and like the chances of that happening was very small. It's like, it's tough. I think I am gonna have to put her below Rob Cesarino, because I do feel like she just had no end game at all. Like at least Rob Cesarino had an end game. Well, I mean, but then, to be fair, I guess it's kind of similar scenarios where Rob wanted to take Matthew and he thought Matthew was taking him. Really, it's unsure of what would. I mean, I do think Matthew probably does take Rob, but again, it's pretty unclear. And Scout thought Twyla was taking him to the end when in reality that wasn't the case. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll stick with Scout being below, though. We'll see when I get to my other ranking. But yeah. So Ian, I think Ian's number one of the bunch so far. I think he was technically, he was part of the duo, him and Tom, that did dominate the game, and he was actively willing to turn against his number one, and the only reason he doesn't get to the end and win is because Tom wins out. I think you got, it's tough, because like him and Lex, I think are very similar. Like I think they're going to end up in very similar spots. So it's just a matter of which one's better between the two. I mean, I don't think Ian, it is tough though, because I do think Ian made a lot of jury mistakes as well. That's obviously what leads to him quitting the game, is like all these like little mistakes that he would make that would come up to bite him, which ends up allowing Tom to manipulate him into essentially quitting the game. I think I'm gonna... God, it's tough. Like, I think Ian's definitely the better player. I think 100% Ian's the better player than Lex. But I think if we're talking about their games, I think I might have to go with Lex above Ian, because I do think Ian was, again, like Ian was technically a second coming in, while Lex was outright dominant. Like he was just outright in front. So. So I think that's what I'm gonna stick with. Then we got Rafe. Ugh, shit. I think Ian is a better player than Rafe, but I think I can calmly say that Rafe is played the better game on that one individual season. Now the question is Rafe better or worse than Lex? I think he's... Actually, I don't know. It's tough. Yeah, this is another tough one. I think he's better. but I think again it's marginal. I think the problem that you come across with, oh, she's following us. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I think one of the tough things you have there is Rafe only wins in a Final 2 against Stephanie. Like, he loses every other jury scenario. But he actively got himself in the position to where that was a very likely scenario to happen. I do think he underestimated Danny. And while Danny, like, promised that she was going to take him to the end, like, even if that happened, like, he was going to lose. But I don't think he made as many jury mistakes. Like him losing in every scenario isn't really due to mistakes that he actively made, like Lex did. Like, I think Lex actively isolated jury votes, while Rafe, I think it was more so just the circumstance of where he was in the game, more so than things he actually did. So I would put him above. I think he's number 1 so far. Now we got Terry. Terry's at the bottom. I think Terry's at the bottom. Which sucks to say. I'm like, is Terry at the very bottom? That's the question. I think he is, right? He's like, he's at the merge. He's gonna be the first target. He has to win immunity after immunity after immunity after immunity. And when he doesn't have immunity, he has the God Idol. It's like, I would love to put him higher. Like, and if he didn't have the God Idol, stuff. Because, like, he gets voted out at 4 if he doesn't have the God Idol. Like, 100%. I think I gotta put him at the bottom. It's tough because, like, he did dominate his tribe, and I do have people like Ben and, well, but then even then with Ben and Mike, at least they, like, were in control at the beginning of the merge. It's like Mike did control those first few rounds of the merge, and Ben, same thing. Like, Terry literally had no control over that. And again, like, even during that period where, like, Mike was on the outs, like, he was still dictating the action, while Terry really just had no clue what was going on in the game either. So I think Terry has to be at the bottom. Next up we got Sandra. I mean, Sandra is pretty much, she's above Jan. I think, yeah, she's above Jan. I don't think I could put her above Keith, though. I think the problem with Sandra is she's Becky, but worse. Like, at least Becky was the second command to Yule, and she did provide some strategic insight to him. Sandra doesn't really do much in her season. Like, we do see her, like, say, oh, we gotta target Ozzy, but then they never really get the chance to do that. She is part of, like, the negotiation over the Penner stuff, but it's like, she doesn't do much. Like, she's just there. Like, she's part of the majority. And, like, there's very little I can attribute to her actually doing well. It was, like, a lot of circumstance that she didn't mutiny, that she ends up in the position that she's in. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do there. Yao. I don't know. I think Yao's okay. I mean, I don't love the idol play. Though obviously it's impressive that he did sniff it out, but I think Yao's probably on the bottom of that Scout, Rob, Kathy, Johnny tier. Like, not a dominant player, but did have control in the back portion of the game. Also needed an idol, which I don't love, but also is in a position where he loses against Earl if they get to the end, and that was his, like, that's the scenario that he wanted to get to. So I do think that's probably where I'm gonna put it. We got Denise. I think Denise is towards the bottom as well. The question is Denise above or below Sundra? I think that's where I'm at. The thing is, I think she had more of a chance of winning at the end than Sundra did. Like, I can definitely see Denise getting votes where it's like, who the fuck is voting for Sundra? Like, I don't even know if there's a single person voting for Sundra. Maybe Rebecca. Yeah. And we got, I mean, Suri and Micronesia. That's tough. Did I get it? No, I am close. What? Okay. I fucked up. I went a bit too far. Yeah, this is terrible. Okay. Yeah. Suri's tough. What happens here? Suri and Micronesia, I mean, obviously very impressed. Oh, fuck. I let go too early. Oh, I thought for a second that was gonna work. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, really dominant game, for Suri. Oh. How did I not grab it? Pretty sure I missed there too. Yeah. Damn it. Alright, yes, whatever. This is gonna fail, but whatever. Ooh, maybe not. Looked like it was gonna work for a second. I have to go a little bit further. Oh, yeah, that's too far. I thought we had that one. try to start new. Nope. Interesting. So Cody finally told Enzo about the committee. Okay, I feel like we're good. I've been trying this for forever now. Whatever, okay then. Whatever, we'll try to still grab it then. That was terrible. I didn't realize we were that far out. I think it's Suri number 1. I think that's the question. I don't think so, because I think the problem with Suri is that I don't think she really thought out her endgame, if I'm being honest. Like in Micronesia, I just don't see why she thought her optimal win scenario at the end was to get to the end with Parvati and Amanda. I do think... I think she's probably above Lex, though. Like, I think she's number 2 on this. As of right now. Maybe she's number 1 too. She might still be above Rafe. I thought I got it. You know, they're all knocked down now. Oh, great. Should have gone a little bit further. Oh, do we have it? I think we got it finally. If she was a dominant force on that season, I think I would put her above where I would put Parvati. So, I mean, really, yeah, it's a question of her or Rafe.
あんだけ食った後でよう踊る気になるな。実はさっき電話でリップルーム予約してん。うちな一度でええからリップルームに入ってみたいって思ってて。
Maddie's in that bottom or lower tier. I do think he's above Rudy and Keith. I think he's probably above Jenna, as I do think he wins more scenarios, but I don't think he's like in the Outman Scout whatever tier. 18 was Aaron. Aaron's probably lower here. I mean, she's probably I think she's above Jan, Sandra, probably Denise. After that, I'm not sure. Well, we're gonna save here and then we'll do one more episode. time is it right now anyway? Oh really? It's 1:47. Goddamn. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do one more. That's it. Thanks for watching.